Hello and welcome to today's episode of Taekwondo Life Magazine Live. This is Master Mark Sorianis. I am your host and the editor-in-chief of Taekwondo Life Magazine. We are a member of the Believe Network. Do you believe? Okay, today we are going to be recounting. It's probably one of our most popular segments over the course of the years, both on the podcast and in the magazine. The top 10 martial arts films of 2024. We are in the end of 2024. We're in December when I'm recording this. So there may be something that's released late in the year. We could always abridge it or talk about it next year, but we like to release the first week of December, our recap. We have reviewed most of these. We've seen all of them, obviously, but we've reviewed most of these. And as we go along, we will tell you that you can look on our website, tkdlifemagazine.com, or check out our social media and link. And then we have links to all the reviews for these top 10 movies. But first, a word from our sponsor, BetOnline. BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. The largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head over to BetOnline today. That's betonline.ag. And don't forget to use the promo code BLEAV, B-L-E-A-V, BLEAV, B-L-E-A-V, and for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, the game starts here. So we link that site also in our description. So, top 10. We're going to go from 10 to 1. This year was a little bit different from previous years in that while there's always a ton of films out of China, and we review a lot of them, they're not always great. This year, there were a higher percentage of really good Chinese martial arts movies. So more of them make the list. On the contrary, there were less U.S. than normal. I reviewed less films this year from the U.S. in the martial arts category. Interesting, but some small ones on the list as well, and we'll talk about those. Number 10 on the list, The Beekeeper, a Jason Statham film. Not a great film, but as I said in my review, always Jason Statham always plays with heart, and he's always good. I watched this movie on a plane to Kazakhstan, I think, and it wasn't a terrific film, but every moment that he's on there, the fight scenes are going to be good. He's going to have some level of humor and sarcasm. So it did make our list, but it was number 10. Number 9, Blind War out of China. Really good movie about a police officer who has to retire, loses his sight. His daughter is kidnapped, and he has to pursue justice and go after her. Really good movie, really good martial arts, good acting. Very, very good one. I recommend it. That's Blind War. Number 8, The Mob out of China. Keep in mind in a lot of these films too, when you look them up, you may have to do a little bit of research, put The Mob, China. We'll link to them, but many of them have the original Chinese names. And some of those names not only are in Chinese, but some of the names get changed. Like 1% Warrior, which we'll talk about, is a slightly different name in Japan. But The Mob is it's about clan rivalry. It's got a lot of brutality, takes place in Shanghai. It's got probably one of the best mob fight scenes, the climactic fight scene. The concluding fight scene is definitely the best of the year, or one of the best of the year, and definitely one of the best you'll see. So that's The Mob. Many of these films were released and distributed through our partners at Wellgo USA. They are still doing a terrific job bringing in movies. We review a lot for them. We screen a lot for them. We're happy to screen for anybody a good martial arts film. When we try to get on the screeners lists, we have upcoming screeners for Ballerina and some other films. Chief of Station, really different kind of a film. Aaron Eckhart, Olga Kurylenko, U.S. project. I think it's Lionsgate. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Daniel Bernhardt, in that film, and I think he did a lot of the fight choreography coming to you from the great director who we've spoken to many times on this program, written about Jesse V. Jackson. Jesse V. Jackson just continues to hit it out of the park. This one is gritty. The acting is good. Aaron Eckhart shows that he can really be a good actor, be a sex symbol, be gritty. This film probably would have been higher if it was really more of a martial arts film than an action film, because it's really that good a film. But I think I did it a little lower because it's not a traditional martial arts film, although there are great fight scenes in it. Now for a word from our sponsor. Okay, we're back with our list, top 10. Baby Assassins 2. I can't tell you how excited I was to watch this movie, which probably led to a little bit of disappointment, but I just loved Baby Assassins so much. Coming out of Japan, it was a terrific movie. I love the ladies who starred in it. I love the supporting cast. I love the martial arts. I love the tone and the tenor. Baby Assassins is probably one of the greatest martial arts films of all time. Baby Assassins 2 is a great sequel. It doesn't live up to Baby Assassins, but it's still really, really good. I enjoyed seeing the ladies, and I enjoyed the follow-up in it. Good humor, good martial arts, good cinematography. The next one is one I loved, Foggy Mountain. Probably had it had a little bit more production value, it might have been higher, but I love the fact, first of all, that it came out of the Philippines. It's a small, gritty drama martial art film starring Peter Pham. It is, you know, gritty, violent. It does a really, really good job. Got martial arts themes, revenge. You see a little bit of different fighting style than you're normally used to seeing. I applaud it. I applaud the independent films. I love the independent films. And I think from our review, I cited Foggy Mountain as the hidden gem and worth watching. I recommend it. Next one I mentioned before. Now, this was a strange year because Japan is really doesn't release that many martial arts films. There's a lot of martial arts there, but not a lot of martial arts films. And 1% Warrior, which I think was known as the One Percenter in Japan, is a really fast moving, interesting, psychologically complex movie. Involves Yakuza gangs and deadly martial arts assassinations. The guy who stars in this was also Sakaguchi was also in the original Baby Assassins, and you can find him in others. He is a phenomenal martial artist, a phenomenal weaponsmith, and he makes this movie really, really terrific. It is a really, really worth seeing. 1% Warrior or One Percenter out of Japan. I look forward to more Japanese films in 2025. Number three is really an homage to Hong Kong action films. Twilight of the Warriors, Walled In, starring tons of notables, including Sammo Hung and Louis Kuk. It's a throwback to 80s Hong Kong action. It's a large film, great fight scenes. The Walden City in and of itself provides a additional character, great cinematography, action, chaos, humor. Really the best coming out of China for this year, if not for number two. Number two is an extraordinary film, probably the best film coming out of China since Ip Man, called 100 Yards. Takes place in the 1920s in an area of China where there's martial arts clans, and a renowned master dies, and he has a son and an apprentice, and he names his apprentice the successor, and it creates a power struggle. Terrific story, terrific setting, great fight choreography, not drenched and steeped in the traditional Chinese nationalism. Actually, some of the messages of it were somewhat independent and opposite that, which was really unusual for me. This is an award-winning film. Terrific, terrific, terrific fight scenes. And I suggest 100 Yards, also from Welgo. The last film leaps and bounds among not only the best martial arts film of the year, but one of the great ones you'll see. coming from Timo Tehanto, the creator of probably one of the greatest martial arts films of all time, The Night Comes for Us. And right behind that headshot, he has collaborated with Iko Uwais. His films are coming out of Indonesia, um, Penjak Salat, and violent, gritty, adult, unique fight scenes, gritty neighborhood, terrific cinematography. This film could have easily been starring Iko Uwais. The people who starred in it are terrific. The woman who stars in the lead role, to me, was the female Iko Uwais, which I say as complimentary as I can. This one involves a group of assassins and a woman who goes sort of rogue to save a young boy from a terrible crime syndicate. Again, terrific film. If to me, I can't get enough of Timo. I find the fight scenes in his film to be so gritty, so real, unparalleled fight choreography, no shaky camera. Um, the Shadow Strays is a great movie. It's a great martial arts movie. That one's in collaboration with Netflix. I think Headshot and Night Comes For Us was also. I suggest you see that. If you have one to see this year, make it be Shadow Strays out of Indonesia. And they did hint that there's a sequel coming, and I'm really looking forward to that. So, if there's something that we missed this year, a movie that we didn't mention, one you'd like us to review, one that you think I should have paid more attention to, I'd love to hear from you. This is Master Mark Sorianis. I look forward to seeing you in the theater and on the mats. And this episode has been brought to you by Bet Online.